Welcome to Moonside. Get this. Let's get this done. Thank you, G. Thank you, DJ Too Cold Original. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Hello. Welcome to me. Really nothing else here besides me. Nothing and nobody. You know, give my Twitch a sub, or, you know, give my Twitch a follow, if you want. But where you're enough for us? Oh, I'm enough. I'm stuff. I'm enough. I'm loved. I'm love. I'm life. Everyone left. Click the button and the dog will go bop. There we go. This is my cartoon. Do you have any funny memories with Ed Gould, creator of Ed's World? No, we never met. We talked a little bit on DeviantArt sometimes. When did you start animating? I feel like a 25-year anniversary is coming up. Probably 2001. I remember in 2001, I, was it 2001 or 2002? It's been like 24 or 25 years since I began. Was Audrey and Victor? Is it like a show? Yeah, it's kind of like a show. I mean, the show is not going to be on TV, so it's not really a show. It's more like just films that are slightly recurring with the same characters. You know, it's a show like how like Donald Duck is a show. It's not really like a TV show. It's just kind of like, here's a film and it stars these characters. It's like, I feel like I've tried to like use that as my angle for this. That it's not like, hey guys, can we make this a show? It's instead, it's just like, here's a cartoon. And it's like, here's another. I don't know. Well, it's just I've gotten that idea out of my head that it even is a show. Because a show implies television. This will never be on television. Well, maybe not never, but probably not until after I'm dead. People will be like, why wasn't this on TV this whole time? You know, they can turn it into a show. Just be like the Bugs Bunny Roadrunner show. Well, show or not, it's hilarious. It's not a show. No, I mean, it is. You can call it a show. It's a series. It's got recurring themes and characters. Although I feel like even the ones that like directly lead into each other are still kind of disconnected and like exist across time. Like I made Springtime for Victor after I made Let Her Know or something, but I didn't use the same title. You kind of just know the premise already, and I think the reason I like that is because a show will want you to watch those episodes first, and I think it's fine if you haven't. I think Springtime for Victor is still a pretty good cartoon if you don't know the context behind like Victor. I mean, it's obvious. It's like explained in the first second that Victor has a crush on this girl. So like the other cartoon is, you know, it's not like you rely on having seen it. Thank you, Cool Man Rebro. This looks like it's made in Flash. Well, it is a vector-based thing, meaning the lines are all made of points instead of pixels. So like you can infinitely zoom because it's vector art. And it looks like Flash now, but when you hit render, it does something. And like you can see that like it textures the lines and it also filters the image. There we go. See how cool that looks? Gives it like a film grain, a chromatic aberration, and a VCR effect. And like all this shit is the effects and whatnot. I'm not, I don't totally dig how the filter makes the teeth color look. Although I'll you know, it's luckily unlike Flash. If you need to change a color, you just need to change the material in the slot. You don't actually need to paint anything again, like you would in real life. Which is maybe, you know, one of the many good reasons why I should be mimicking the look of cells instead of actually using cells. Of course, they're, you know, probably like 75 years ago, but like at one point having doing it this way was the only way and the easiest way. It's like Gertie the dinosaur, the first like mainstream cartoon. They didn't use cells for that. Or I guess not they, he. The one guy. He didn't use any animation cells. I don't think anyone had really thought of that yet. So the way it was done was it was just a black and white drawing on paper of Gertie the dinosaur, and the backgrounds were all just drawn in every frame. I don't think there was another way, which is kind of neat. Welcome. Thank you. I love lazy in-betweening, which is so cool. Do you see this? Would you live here? I would live here. Live right there. Attention to detail is great. Makes the scene feel very full and smooth. Thank you. Blender is very smart. Thank you. Yes. I am smart to use Blender. Okay, let me temporarily switch to pen. Sorry, I smacked the mic with it. So, yeah, let me draw some of the ideas that I can't lazy in between exactly. First of all, let me fix this dude so he's facing the right way. And now I want him to like... Yeah, like... Here, let me look at my camera for this. Like... This way. And then being like... Okay, so yeah, let's draw his arm doing like this. And I want him to be like pulling the swordfish out, like he's pulling the sword from the stone. And then he goes like, whoop. It's gotta go in longer than that. Gotta move it because my left hand is blocking. Sorry, I gotta put it all the way on the right like that. I love my job. Please let me do my job. It's a real job. I need a job. Oh wait, I got a job that I don't get paid for. Hey, get a job or start getting paid for your job. I have no job except the job I have. I have a job. It is no job. I have no job. I need a job. Give this man a job, a job, a job. What's up, Demon Fang? Yeah. Nice now. Give this man a job. Nintendo, what are you doing? Don't you care about Mundus? You'd make millions with this guy who needs a job. My nephew needs a job. He is my nephew. I'm his uncle who works at Nintendo. He needs a job. Give him job. His name is Job. How come that's overlapping? Oh, because it's on the layer above? I don't think I meant to do that. Yeah, I did. I don't remember doing it. He's Stimpy. He's Climpy. Look at him. He's down there. What's up, Chimchar? He's Growlithe. No, oh, Ma, this is amazing. Oh, Buamatsu is famous, but he is still underrated. Underrated by people who say he's their favorite. Underrated by me who screams his name with a megaphone. Underrated. He's even greater than I'm saying. Underrated by everyone and me. Underrated by me. Underappreciated by myself. Underrated by thee. Underrated by everyone else. Just leave you with that. Not streaming anymore? Not streaming anymore, or what? This game over. What's the name? That's Mecca. This is my buddy Mecca. He's Muslim. He's Fuzlum. You look too thin, Joe. Hey, what? Who the hell are? Oh, well, all right, fine. You can say that, Joyce Gran. What? What? Joyce? Hi. Joyce, welcome. This is Joyce. This is my aunt. What are you doing here? I mean, I don't mean to say it like I don't want you here. You should be here all the time. Wait a minute. Are you here all the time? Well, it's great to hear from you. How are you doing? Am I too thin? Is that something that other people are thinking? I don't think so. I think that's just people in my family are saying that. Thank you, Aiden Kipo. Not sure if I could fuckulize that into a real in-between. I admit this is a little less fun than just drawing. To like select all these parts, like try to make it look like it's a fresh drawing. I find it to be fun most of the time. I hear you, but I have to write. What are you saying? Would you like to be on voice? 'Cause we can arrange that if you want. You should call into Thingus or something. Do you ever watch our show, me and Mare? We do a video game thing. We just talk about art mostly. Play old games. We'll talk about art. It's fun. Thank you, Oliver Volk. Thank you very much. Thanks for the gift stubs. When? Whenever you want. I mean, we do the show on Wednesdays, so if you wanna, you know, let us know if you're around. I don't know what time it is for you at like 8 p.m. At like 9, because we're usually not going until like 8:30 p.m. Eastern. So yeah, if you don't mind, because it is a live show, you'd be like, well, you know, so is this 3 a.m. All right, well, that means it's like 11 for you now. Thank you, Isum Kung Goober Witch. Hope you're well, Joe. Best of luck on the quest to be independent creation boy. Thank you. Thank you very much. I will need all of it. All of the luck. But, you know, I'm also on my, like, 15th year of being independent, so probably not going anywhere. But your support makes it a lot less painful. 3 a.m. in power, 6 hours, 10:30 now. Okay. Well, don't hesitate to, you know, if you wanna just like talk on my stream, like we're doing right now. This is my aunt. She lives in Paris. Love your show. Thank you. Glad you like it. I had no idea that you were watching, but you know, I do all this stuff for my family members and anyone else who cares. $75? What's 75? My age now? Really? You're only 75? That's not that old. I thought you were a little older than that. Imagine. I'm very fortunate to still have my aunt. I don't really talk about how just like critical my family members are to like everything I do, but if it wasn't for my sister, there'd be no Iron Bad. If it wasn't for my mom, there'd be no Dog of Wisdom. I mean, there'd be nothing if not for my mom, but there'd also be nothing if not for my aunt. My aunt loves me very much. I haven't talked to you in like a year. Arlene. Well, you know, if Arlene knew how to use a phone. I don't want to offend her, but it'll be at least another decade before she she figures out how to use this. Arlene just celebrated her 80th. Joyce, are you much of an artist? I don't know if I don't know if I know. Like I assume you must love art because you live in Paris. But do you well no, I know what you make. You make you write things. So my aunt is also a very creative person. And I think a lot of her writings are kept to herself though. I don't know if she's got a web outlet or publication, like, you know, I crave attention, I suppose. But also it's just like, this is what I can do. I don't know if money didn't need to exist, I don't know if I would even upload any of my work or if I would just make it for my family. I wrote bad poetry. That's fine. I make bad poetry too. I like rap. I like coming up with stupid rhymes about dogs. I like coming up with little songs and, you know, writing lyrics and being like, oh yeah, that's good, about the worst thing ever. Yeah, there was a time when I don't know if you remember, but there was a time when Joyce lived with us for a couple weeks, and while you were here, it was like, this was 20 years ago. While you were here, all of the power in New York went out. I still don't even understand how that was possible, but there's a massive blackout. It lasted the rest of the day, basically everywhere in New York. But it was fun. We hung out. We Joyce was living in the RV, and the RV had a gas-powered fridge. So we were drinking soda from the gas fridge. We hung out in the pool. That was sweet. Do you know the Genevieve Mouse song? Is that one of yours? I don't know. That's pretty close to what I was imagining. Except this needs to go down a little bit. Have you ever tried animation? I don't know if you like animation, really. I don't know if I've ever heard you talk about animation. Yeah, that moves up pretty quick. I need to down a bit. Yeah, it's like I kind of don't like animation, but I have a passion for it. There needs to be like a sword sound. I remember when Joyce was staying with us, it was 2002 or 3. So like, we were just playing Super Smash Brothers Melee nonstop, and the like menu theme was starting to get to Joyce. I also remember playing Mario Sunshine, and Joyce was like talking shit about it. But yeah, what I'm doing now is Blender. It's the first like really good free animation software that I've used. It's existed for a while, but it hasn't been like this robust until a few years back when they started putting in this grease pencil thing. The chat stopped scrolling. Oh wow. Oh man. Thank you, the Wrinkler, for 50 gift subs. Oh damn. Nice. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Welcome everybody to Emoji. So if you give 50 gift subs, then if you give 50 subs and there's only 24 people, then what happens to the other 26 subs? That's $100. Wow. Sick. I feel like every day I'm reminded a little bit more that there is so much more There's so much more to gain from actual people than machines that just, I don't know, turn people into numbers. What up, Joe? Is this related to that? Related to what? There are people who are related to me here. Yeah, Joyce, if you haven't seen the show, and you know, I'm just saying this in general to everybody listening, you should go to youtube.com/thingus. Is that the link? No. Oh, it's youtube.com/@thingus. Try that. Okay, good. It's not case sensitive. Yeah, check out our VODs. Check out our previous week's VODs of the show. I know you're 75, but as long as I say VOD in context, you'll know what it means. I don't know where VOD came, video on demand. It's just like the replay of the live show. We have a lot of memories that are kind of just like attached to old games. So we sometimes play games and things remind us of them. And that's kind of cool. Although I guess we don't talk about that as much on the show. We mostly just talk about, like, I don't know, what's going on now. We're funny. We're like right about everything and funny. So you should watch it. We're right about everything. We name all of the world's problems and solve them all. How did you get into animation? Probably because my big sister was into animation. You know, the big sister that I do Thingus with. Meredith was into animation, and kind of just seemed natural for me to also be interested. But I also wanted to make games, and Meredith wanted to make animations, and now Meredith's making games and I'm making animations. Nah, we're both doing both. Meredith's game is mostly animation, and my animations are in my games. Found you. Sorry, lost the feed. Oh, hey, welcome back. Were you able to still hear what I was saying, or you lost me entirely? Let's see, what was I saying? I don't remember. Oh crap. Yeah, this dude is way off of where I want him. My nephew is a genius. Thank you. I don't know which nephew you're talking about, but I don't need you to clarify. I've been working on little games lately. It was always my dream to be a game designer, but I guess I feel like I didn't really know why, and figuring out why seems like an important step. I don't know, cause like you gotta be like, and this goes for art in general. You gotta be like kind of a dick, in the sense that like, if you're making art, you're kind of sort of implicitly saying that everybody else's art just isn't enough. I thought bods. No, don't check out our bods. Although I've certainly been getting comments on my thinness. Well, that's not a bad thing, is it? I mean, I guess I was kind of pudgy for a long time. Don't be a Kyle A. Carosa. No, you definitely don't want to be that. I don't know why we're talking about it. Well, you know, among other things, he's a guy who does nothing but pitch his cartoon idea. And it's like, you gotta be a little bit more than just a guy who pitches things. Right, like, is that why you brought him up? Because I was saying, like, you have to look at everyone else's art and be like, this is what everyone in the whole world missed. This is something that everybody's art lacks. And, you know, I don't think you're necessarily hating on everyone else's art by making art, but you're kind of commenting. Or you're, you know, I think if you're Kyle, I'm getting sick of these guys named Kyle. If you're Kyle, then you kind of just want to make a cartoon that already exists, but it's yours. You got to be a little selfish. Yeah, maybe a little selfish, but also a bit generous too. You're saying, like, not only does this art not exist, but I'm gonna make it and it's gonna go to you and blah blah blah. And it's like, it's great if you could be like, this isn't here. I mean, you know, one of the other reasons people make art is because it's just not there in their world. So they'll make like a knockoff of it because that's all they can have in you know, like, it's kind of like when you're a DOS gamer. If you have nothing but DOS and you wanted to play like Mario, you know, pretend it's the 80s, pretend it's like 1992 and nobody has Super Nintendo emulators. So your best bet is to play some crappy Mario knockoff like Aldo, or an awesome Mario knockoff like Jill of the Jungle, which is also kind of crappy, but it was awesome for a DOS game. Anyway, you're still too thin. All right, well, I'll try to bulk up this winter a little. I'll try to find some protein powder that's not full of lead. There's like a protein powder store nearby, and I just like pass it all the time and never go. Kyle's obsessed with a Ren and Stimpy ripoff. I remember John K was taking shots at him because I don't know, they had a fight, I guess. Okay, so I made this thing so I could put it here so I could move this tail over. There has to be many layers to make a cartoon, at least a good one anyway. A banana stuck on the wall. I tried to super chat to comment on your video, but I got canceled because I had connection issues. Also, here go. Also, I subscribe. Love you. Thank you, Blake. Thank you, Blake Lindemann. What software to use? This here is Blender. And this tool is called Grease Pencil. So if you get Blender, which costs a whopping $0.00, then you just go up to like this mode option picker thing and change it to draw mode. After you make a grease pencil object and then you put it on draw mode. Aaron went ultra woke and Chris O'Neill. I mean, look, these guys both game the algorithm to make millions of dollars. I don't really care which one's better than the other. I was like, yeah, of course you're gonna be woke or anti-woke. You'll do whatever the algorithm tells you to. Right, you know, when people are like, I'm woke now, they really just mean, I make money now. It's like, I'm woke. That means I have something to lose. I wanna I want this tiger to be like a Looney Tunes as he comes into focus. Yeah, got in the night, tsubosa wo takishimetai. Dun 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 dun. Simpsons and Fortnite thoughts, and I don't care. is like, you know, that's something that should just be like a free fucking, like, you know, it's like The Simpsons are also in VR chat, but how come nobody gives a shit? Because nobody officially licensed it. That's silly to think that's anything. It's just Disney took a shit. Disney takes shits all day. I remember you playing Mario for hours. Oh yeah, I love that game, Mario Sunshine, the one where he's got a jetpack. He's got like a water pump, and the enemies are all made of like sludge and stuff. Oh, whoopsie doodle. Forgot to put the whiskers into the other frames. But yeah, I mean, you were only there for the GameCube stuff. You didn't see all the other games that I played. I've played like 10 million games over the years. Me and Artie played Super Smash Brothers a lot back then. There was the Nintendo GameCube, and that was like the more advanced Nintendo after the N64, which was the more advanced Nintendo after, and so on. Gotta go now, but warning, Joe, I'll be back. Your old, sick, and lonely aunt. Sometime, nephew. Bye, my dear. Bye, Joyce. I love you. Please come back every time I stream. I love hearing from you. Yeah, like, send me an email. I forget if I've got your current email. I'll talk to you later. Have a good night. That's my Aunt Joyce, everybody. Now that she's gone, we can talk about her. I'll talk about her as if she's still here. She was my old aunt like 20 years ago, so it's good to know she's only 75. I thought she was older than that. It's I guess it's like when you're old, you have to like exaggerate your oldness to people. Smash is the best. I grew up on Brawl. TBH, John K deserves a comeback? No. I mean, he never left. He's still making shit. It's just that nobody will let him work on like a big production anymore because he wasn't very good at the last few times. I mean, I think every artist deserves a chance, but you know, in the same way that Hitler deserves to make DeviantArt foot fetish stuff, I don't think John K should be anywhere near anyone. Well, I don't know. It's also, maybe it's not particularly good to just like leave him alone. Pressure got to him. I mean, he's a bast. It's not that. It's that he got a big head. There was a time when he was making Ren and Stimpy, and it was the only fucking thing that was like that. And then when he got fired, he was like, it's like the Nazis, it's like the Gestapo, I'm being put in prison. Like, you know, exaggerating his own eminence, exaggerating his own importance. And you know, I don't think he's entirely wrong about him being an important figure, but that time is over. And if John wants to come back, he's got to figure out what he is to us now. You know, first of all, he's a creep, so we need him on a not on a leash exactly. He's a creep because he's, you know, but like you can still respect a person like that if you have boundaries with them. We need them to be, you know, quarantined basically. Well, I don't know. I guess if it was pretty well known which I guess by this point maybe pretty well known, like how he is, then maybe we can have him around because we all just like have the, we have boundaries with him. I don't know. He's still a person. It's not like he's a monster or anything just because he is a sicko. We always knew he was a sicko from the cartoons he made. It's like, honestly, nothing's changed. He's the same person. I mean, I think artists should be given a little leniency, but what he wants is not to make art. What he wants is to be reinstated as president of cartoon, which is not good for us. It's also not good for his ego. John is no Diddy. I mean, he's a lot more talented than Diddy, I think, but he also has made a lot of shit that stinks. Ren and Stimpy Adult Party cartoon. I guess I'm glad that we got the opportunity to find out if it was good, but it wasn't good. And you know, you can argue it was good. I'm sure I can come up with a few nice things to say about it, but it didn't have that magic because it wasn't like it wasn't the time and place. It wasn't the moment, and it's not easy to recapture that feeling unless you have a new context for it. You know, I think John is kind of stuck in the past. I don't hate him, but I will make fun of him. My cartoon saved America, and look how they treated me. APST is still better than that recent writer-driven revival they did without him. I mean, I'm just gonna take your word for it. I believe you. I'm not gonna check it out because it looks bad. And it looks like Ren and Stimpy. Like, it looks 99% like the show. But there's something really big missing in that 1%. I think that was a mistake to make that, because you need the guy, no matter how repulsive he is to you. You know, I don't think we need to bring him back. I don't think we need to bring Ren and Stimpy back at all. I think we need to appreciate what was. I think that's the thing that I don't like about revivals, that you're kind of flying in the face of the original, which was pure, and this remake and basically every other remake or reboot, whatever, is impure. And how do I describe the pure / impure nature of it? It's like, you know, part of it is getting the guy, but as we've seen, APC didn't have the magic. It was better when it was held back a little, so they could get away with stuff instead of just, like, you know, doing whatever horrible thought comes to mind. It's funnier if it's something they can get away with. Although, of course, I don't actually think Ren and Stimpy was a kid's show, and I don't actually think it should be on Nick. But, you know, those freaks at Viacom had no problem with it. I mean, it was pretty good, even though I wasn't really a fan as a kid. It was a pretty good show, and definitely inspired lots of things I was into. But, you know, when I got a little older, I liked Ren and Stimpy. I thought that was hilarious shit. And you know, I say John is a creep, but he should be a creep to make a show like that. I mean, clearly he has some pain, and it's not right for him to just like give that pain to other people, but it's all right to put it into cartoons. I think you know, he got the sense that like they're not letting me make cartoons, so you know, why not just be as nasty of a person as you can. Wow. I don't know if we really have any excuses now. Anybody could do a Kickstarter. Even John did a Kickstarter. That was also like crap. But like, why was it crap? I guess like there's gotta be a support system for him. He can't just be making things antisocially. I think somebody in his life needs to be like, okay, this joke is bad, and here's what I think would be funnier. Like, there needs to be somebody to balance him out a little. Probably what he had back in the day. True, John is basically Ren Hoek. I can't tell if that's worrisome or badass. I mean, why would anyone want to be Ren Hoeg? Why would anyone be proud of that? I feel like he's it's not to be impressive. It's to be vulnerable. To like create a character like Ren, it's like that's a real, he's really vulnerable. And he's really cruel and vulnerable. And I think a lot of what he does is trying to avoid being vulnerable. But like, look at his heroes, like Chuck Jones. His hero is probably Bob Clampett, not Chuck Jones. But like, Chuck Jones was great because he was able to make his characters really vulnerable and like, you know, kind of sad. I think you know, Ren being this extremely weak and vulnerable creature is you know, it's what makes it so funny that he just like turns his hand into a giant fist and punches Stimpy with it. You know, John needs to see a therapist. I mean, he's probably been to therapists, but he definitely needs therapy now after what we did to him. I mean, I think he's it's like, I don't know, nobody deserves being chased by a mob. It's just that the same abuse that you're getting is the same abuse that he's giving. You know, he's like on Instagram, he's like still grooming. It's like that pissed me off. It's like, that's not gonna help. It's not gonna help with your problems. And, you know, I'm not the one saying these things. I have a lot of respect for John, but you know, I don't think it's very good for everyone else for him to just be like, it's really not good for him either. What, you know, I guess if what, you know, what would I do for him to help him? I guess probably take away his internet connection, although that might be too cruel. I think I retweeted a thing like change.org petition saying he should be banned from Instagram. It was a long time ago. I don't know if I'd do that shit now. You know, it's really exhausting trying to like keep up with every fucking drama. I guess it's like you kind of just find out about it if you're a fan of these things. I think people try to go after him because they want to absolve themselves for liking his show. But it doesn't matter if you're a rapist or if you're just like an asshole. People will do it anyway. Be like, man, I was such a fan. And it's like, that shit, when people did that to me, that made me realize that like people aren't taking John K's shit seriously if they're not being serious about me. They're, you know, I made an NFT and it's like, all right, well, I guess he's Bill Cosby now. Even John K wasn't Bill Cosby. But, you know, it's also like, you shouldn't like pretend that you're friends with these creators. I think that was something toxic that he would do. He'd be like, join my fan club and be my pal. As you know, I'll gladly hang around with fans, but it's not the same as pals. When I'm done with my stream, I hop into a call with my animator pals and we talk about what program we use. Like, that's all we talk about. It's like we just talk about what program we use, and it's all Blender. And we just talk about Blender. It's actually quite boring. Animators just talk about like techniques or honestly, we don't even talk too much about the like we don't talk too much about like, you know, writing or drawing or anything like that. We talk about the like just like the nitty-gritty, like the programs. It's like, here's how you do this, here's how you do that, and how do you do this? You could do that. I feel like that's most of my conversations with animator pals. You could be my pal, but you have to be an animator first. I don't think we should be harassing him. I think we should distance ourselves from him quietly, not loudly. I'm just okay. So you were his best friend for 20 years, and you didn't say anything about his abuses. I have, you know, I give no shit to anyone who loves the show or even admires him, because nobody's perfect and artists are disgusting. That doesn't mean you can condone what he does that you disagree with. You know, I guess the internet makes it seem like that like if you like his work, you probably just condone the bad things he does. Well, you know, parasocial stuff needs to fade away because we're not all friends with each other. Some of us just like the cartoons. I have no problem if you don't even know who I am and you just like the videos. That's honestly how things were and how they should be. It's just that here you're watching me create it live, and that's a unique thing, and I kind of like it. I mean, I could also just like turn off my webcam and microphone and keep it just the cartoon and keep myself to nothing but a image and text, you know, just an image and a username, and not, you know, talk for hours and give my opinions. But I don't know. I'm a person. I'm a person. I like to talk. I like to talk shit. The internet does do that, like with Drake and Josh and Dan Schneider. Right. I mean, I loved iCarly when that shit was airing. Me and my twin sister would watch that every day, and it's like, you know, if you feel sorry for like Miranda Cosgrove, I don't think you need to be like, Miranda Cosgrove, I feel so sorry for you that I'm never watching the show again. I mean, you can still put it on if you like it, of course. That's one of those shows that you never put on. You just like flip to the station it's on. I don't know if I would ever put it on just to watch it. It's like, oh hell yeah, let's watch it. Let's watch it from the beginning. It's usually just like, oh, it's on. And I thought the show was really funny. It's just that, like, it's a sitcom for teens. It's, you know, it's not like the greatest thing ever. But it's way better than I expected. It's like, I didn't think I'd watch this at all. This is a pretty good show. It was a good show. Oh, so was Ren and Stimpy. I tried to walk away from this plane fire, shaking my head thinking about now, it is true that ours are held up to unrealistic standards, but also, yeah, we have to encourage healthy connections. Yeah. I mean, you know, you don't want John to just, like, become more of an asshole, do you? You don't want him to just be, like, by himself with his own thoughts. It's like, you know, he's bearing the brunt of the consequences of stuff he did 20 years ago now. And it's like, even if it makes sense to us, it might not even register as an appropriate punishment for him. You know, Bill Cosby was also put in prison. I mean, I kind of agree with that, but he's also like a demented old fuck. Like, what is prison gonna do for him? It's more for us that's like, no, you can't get away with it, even now. And of course, they let him out. I feel like it was probably the right thing to put him in and the right thing to let him out. I mean, he's old and a rapist. Imagine like being brought back to life with AI just to be convicted for crimes that you never got caught on. You know, John was caught for every crime he did in Ren and Stimpy. And you know, another really nasty part of this is that, like, it was a culture that allowed for this and made room for this. They knew. They didn't do shit. And if everyone fucking knew, then why is it all his fault? Like, nobody wants to rock the boat. It's difficult because you got, like, on one hand, you got, like, a work of art that needs to be made. And on the other hand, you have someone who's potentially committed a really evil crime. And, you know, he's never been convicted because there's the statute of limitations and, you know, who wants to get legally involved? I mean, you know, that sows doubt, and he's, I don't know if he used it to gain support at all, but he was trying to be nice now about it, but I think it's too late. Nobody trusts him. John was never charged, unlike Kyle. That's true. He was never charged. It was more about a mob justice kind of thing. Does is that right? I mean, maybe it was nice. Maybe it was nice of them to not press legal action. Or no, I don't think it was them being nice. I think it was just them showing that there was no chance of them suing him or putting him in prison because of the statute of limitations. It's been years since this came out, so like I'm happy to feel like we can talk about it maturely now. You know, John may have done something awful, but he is a person, and people become even more twisted when they're treated like this. I don't want that. You know, the legal system allows for grace and humanity, even for people who are guilty. But you know, it's a shitty thing, and I don't know if I disagree with making that public. It you know, it seems very plausible that he really did do that. But you know, of course, that's not for me to determine. The only people who really know are the people involved. I definitely think that no matter how evil a person is, they could still have art to make that is important. Which is, you know, kind of the message of my cartoon about Hitler. Even if it's not really important to you, it's important to them. It's important to somebody. It's like, just by making his terrible Animaniacs fan art, Hitler transmutes the whole Hitler thing into something positive and constructive and productive. I think at some point John was convinced that they took his art form from him. But I don't buy that. Sorry. Skylar Page was a way different story. His situation got blown way out of proportion. I heard that Skylar Page was grabbing people. Skylar tore a piece of paper that Emily Partridge because blah 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 blah. Never grabbed or groped anybody. I mean, I can't say for sure about any of that. You know, I was thinking about Aziz Ansari because we got rid of him. We got rid of him. Does anybody even know why he's not here anymore? Like, I remember reading the article when it came out. It's like somebody went on a date with Aziz Ansari, and he was bad at sex. And I think him being bad at sex was like the whole reason he's canceled. Like, really? Were we only trying to fuck him, and now we don't want to anymore? Because I think that's a little more sick than what he did. But I have to say, when I heard that Aziz Ansari was going away, I was kind of happy because Aziz Ansari was way too present. He was everywhere, and it's like, who is this guy? Why is this guy? Why him? Why everywhere? Why so much? And none of that has anything to do with moral outrage of like something that he did. None of that has anything to do with that. It's just convenient that, and you know, it's a terrible thing to admit to, but I think everyone does this, that they really just like pretend like something outrages them so that they can conveniently get rid of a guy they don't like. I'm a little glad he's gone, but I also don't think it was right what we did to him. There's gotta be a better way of getting a guy out of my sight than ending his fucking existence. You know, like, maybe it's sort of, in people's mind, it kind of tracks this idea that he's a sex pest because he was just a pest in general. It just tracks. It doesn't, it's not proven. It's just something that, like, people hear and it sounds plausible. I think we needed we need Aziz. We need him back. I mean, I'd be happy if a lot of fuckers just like went away forever. Chris Pratt, Ellen DeGeneres, you know, make them gone. They're just too present. There's so many other people out there who could be doing the same job. But, you know, just because I don't like someone is also not a good reason to end their lives, to end their career permanently. It just feels like that's easier. You know, the drastic measure of ending someone's career is done so often that people just think that's the easy thing to do. I've pistanced myself from Aziz. Why? Because something, and I don't want to talk about it anymore. You know, I'm not totally sure if him being bad sex was the entire story, but that's kind of how I remember it. I don't think we should bring Aziz back, but we do need to apologize if that's all he fucking did. So what's the alternative? What's the non-sick way of saying that we're really tired of this guy? Because, you know, we're saying like, oh, the guy is a sicko, but like we're also being sick to be like, this is totally fine. Everybody's okay with this. The way that people are treated. You know, like I know he's an annoying just like celeb, but like it's not the annoying celeb we hate who's getting the brunt of this. It's the person we don't even know. You know, when you leave me a mean comment, it affects my emotions. I really actually feel it. As much as my image seems like a business, as much as I feel like one of the arms of the Google corporation, you know, it's not Google who gets hurt when you say mean things. And well, people need to try a little harder than just being mean. Shadman threatens someone with a deadly weapon. I don't know if we're going down that road. I can't think of anything Shadman did that I would like defend or want to preserve. like Ren and Stimpy. You know, it's evil art. I guess like the art Hitler made in my cartoon. If that's what he's gotta do, then sure. None of my fucking business, even if I don't like it. Everybody has to make some art that is, well, I don't know if it's a little Shadman, but... I mean, you know, doing those things in art is better than doing those things for real. It just doesn't sound like he knows the difference. It sounds like he's a criminal in real life, too. Best thing I can say about him is that he's mentally ill and needs help. Wow. It's up to him if he wants to take it. Last I heard of him, he was addicted to heroin. It's not easy for someone addicted to heroin to stop. Or even like think that what they're doing is wrong. Yeah, I mean, in that regard, I have some sympathy. That sucks, being addicted to heroin. I mean, he's addicted to a lot of shit that's bad for you. I don't know. I guess, like, if your art starts to be the thing that's, like, causing your mental illness, maybe it's time to switch it up and make something else. I told you, my stream is where we identify all the problems of the world and solve them all. I can't imagine being him and feeling really good about what I do. And you know, you could for a little while convince yourself that he was just, you know, owning the libs and bucking tradition, but look how fucked up his life is. Look how fucked he is. He needs to, I don't know, find Jesus or some shit. This is like the thing I've dreamed about for years. This thing that's like, in my mind, I always imagined a sort of in something in between 3D and 2D. I feel like this is kind of that. It's not exactly the same as like a rigged character. It's a little, has a little bit more organicness to it. I love it. I love working like this. I love the results. Oh my god, I'm sorry to do this every stream, but I feel like I'm just so happy. I'm happy to be doing this. Happy to be here. Hearing Oni Plays and Company defend Shad during his peak off on this has made me boycott giving those fuckers any money ever. Good. Now there's more to give to me. I mean, they exploit the algorithm to make lots of money already. They made a a Patreon for Sleepy Cabin and never made a single video. So I don't know what they need money for exactly. I need money. Man, you know, what are they saying exactly? Are they defending him in spirit? Are they defending him in theory? Or are they just defending his bad actions because they think they're good and condone that shit? Which is it? Don't ask them that. You tell me. Seems like they condone it. I don't know. I made a cartoon all about how I, in spirit, in theory, support that. That doesn't mean I condone those people trying to poison Jews. You know, it's one thing if he just draws like horrendifulness. It's another thing if he's just like going around being as evil and violent as he is in his art. I mean, you know, there's the thing of it's like the drugs are making him do it. But, you know, at this point, nobody who's friends with him should condone any of that shit, because look how it affects him. You actually care about him and are not just trying to make a point to bolster your own numbers, then you don't fucking condone that shit. You're not saying that the Nazi pedophile deserves grace. You're saying that he's right. You're saying that he's right as he's like dying in a ditch. The pod is fun, but it was always meant to be supplemental content between their main stuff. Right. That's how it was kind of billed. And over time, it just became, oh, hey, ad revenue, algorithm, shit just works. Why even make any cartoons? What are people saying? You need money, we need cartoons, plain and simple. Yeah, that's the deal. That's been the deal. You know. I used to think it doesn't matter how I get it, but it does. You know, it's not just that people don't like NFTs, it's that they're too indirect. If you buy this JPEG, which is really actually just a link to a JPEG, then maybe you will get some value out of it. but mostly give me money. You know, it's easier to just be like, give me money. This is the deal. Not, you might get a valuable asset out of it. I don't think anyone cares about that. I don't think they should. I'm surprised you were never on Sleepycast. That's fine. That's all right. I don't know if I really respect those guys. It's a lot of fun to do a podcast, but like, what are we really doing? You know, we're making games, right? We're making cartoons, we're making games, we're doing shit. The podcast is just kind of just like shooting the shit and like getting a couple extra bucks or followers in the process. I mean, I don't know what it's like to have a podcast be your main source of revenue. But I was talking to my sister about how, like, if we were trying to make it work as like a career, we'd probably hate each other. We'd probably be like, that didn't work. That's not working. Why aren't things going right? I don't know. Seems like it would be a really fucking uphill battle for me, but not for them. I mean, you know, I thought Stamper was pretty nice to me, but me and Mick did not get along. There's a reason all podcasts end with everyone splitting up and hating each other's guts. Oh man, I hope that doesn't happen with me and my sister. I love Stamper. Yeah. Stamper was kind to me when I needed him to be. So I never forgot that. He probably did. It's just like, you know, I said that Mick groped me and he was like, well, I don't remember. And you know, I just think about how that's like so in contrast with how Stamper treated me. Stamper tucked me into bed. And you know, none of these guys are like really great people. They're not perfect, but I suppose like I'm looking at the look at the little things that they do to show that they're like really part of society. He went off on those guys. He hates them now. I don't know if he ever made up or anything, but that's fine. I don't need to be one of those people who's like, I wish they'd make up. I don't want them to. Well, because I feel like he had a good reason. You know, he was saying once that it's like, everyone's gotta stop asking me why I don't hang out with those guys anymore. That's like asking why you don't hang out with your kindergarten friends. It's like, yeah, I can see that. Maybe there's nothing left to go back to. You know, ultimately none of them actually need each other. Like they're clinging to something, aren't they? They're clinging to something that's dead. And you know, people worry about Stamper as if he's made all the wrong decisions, which he has, but I don't know. I think he's right a lot of the time. Yeah, I don't know. It's feels like another case of algorithm gone wrong. These guys were all animators. They had a job that had nothing to do with this like instant gratification shit, which is all they do. You know, they tweet, they do a podcast, they make a post. It's not about the long con anymore for them. They probably could be healed if they just stop doing what the algorithm wants them to do. That was fun having my aunt appear. I haven't talked to her in a while. I feel like there's a cynicism to people who get money and notoriety from something that requires minimal effort. They're all kind of scumbags who are out for your money and nothing more. Temper was funny but troubled. I guess he's, you know, turning his pain into content, which is too bad. That's something that pretty much everybody deserves better than. As long as you're a human being and not like a fictional character, like Mickey Mouse, who deserves death and torture. I think everybody deserves a little bit of de-algorithming. Algorithm never liked my shit anyway. Have you thought about putting more boobs in it? The algorithm hates me on every single site, no matter what I post. I've given up on being an internet creator. No, don't give up. Just that, you go to a site that's just like alga ruined, you're not gonna break through any of the sloppest waterfall diarrhea waterfall that just like blocking everything in view. It doesn't mean that there's nowhere for people to see your work. I think you need to just keep trying, and you know, maybe one day you'll get the recognition you need. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you because I still have that problem, even as like a famous cartoonist. I'm a famous cartoonist. My name is John Arbuckle. It's like this line from Quadrophenia that I'm always thinking about. In the battle in the streets, we fight computers and receipts. Have you heard of Tamers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Yeah, I seen that shit. That's fun. Like Sonic, but he's fat and like he has two siblings. It's just like slice of life Sonic fat shit. It's like just stupid. And like every time they're facing away from the camera, they have like a giant ass. That's, you know, that's some good slop. I don't know if it even is slop. It's probably just like the best we can hope for at this point. Slop is like, I don't know. We need to distinguish shit posts from slop, because slop is really just empty calories. Shitposts are like, shitposts are on the complete opposite end of the internet food pyramid. Shitposts are at the top, while slop is at the bottom. Oh wait, no, it's the opposite. Yeah, it's the opposite. You should have shitposts at the bottom. That's like that's energy. That's like all the energy in the world. And then at the very top, use sparingly. That's where you have like video essays. Fucking garbage. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to be a little nicer now. I think I am learning forgiveness and grace. There's so many people who do things that make me mad, but maybe it's not entirely their fault. It's big tech's fault, mostly. I've made bad videos too, and the whole time I've thought, oh yeah, this is forgivable. So I can extend that to everyone else. But I'm while I'm becoming more kind, I'm also developing more of an intolerance towards content I don't like. It's like, you know, this you know, this isn't a fucking asshole that I hate. It's a slop channel that is under the algorithm spell. It's like, have you ever thought like you could just make anything you want, and that Google deserves less money and you deserve more? And you may be asking yourself, how? Yeah, I don't know. It's like, you could say it's scammy sounding, but it's really the big evil corporation that's scamming you. You can actually just make whatever you want. There's a win-win out there. A win-win or a lose-lose. Choose. That's how it feels now. You know, I used to think like I'd never get that on Patreon. But look how people just like prove me wrong. People really like what I do, or at least they care enough about me to make things easier for me. I would like to think it's because they want cartoons and not because they feel guilty or anything. I mean, I don't think that motivates people really. You know, I've made plenty of posts about how I'm struggling and need money, and I think people don't really respond to that. They respond to, here's what I'm offering, and I don't blame them. Here's what I'm offering. Boy and his sister, and literally Hitler. Hitler not included. It's a shame Max stopped doing art and just does streams where he plays games to establish parasocial relationships with his viewers. Good to hear he's finally figured out life. I mean, what are we doing here, really? It's, you know, we shouldn't even have money, but since we do, we're doing all kinds of weird shit for money. Like, be my friend! I am really, really cute. Really cute. Really cute. I am really, really cute. Really, really cute. Cute! I don't know what Max did, but everyone treats him like he's under a microscope waiting for him to F up. I mean, he's always effing up on purpose so that he gets attention. I don't think it's really effing up if you mean to do it. He's always doing Steven Juniverse type things because that gets, you know, money, I guess. I don't think so. I think he just does it to... I think he just does it because it's based or something to nuke your reputation. I don't fucking know. I did that. I mean, I didn't do Steven Juniverse, but I think people are kind of actually just like feigning outrage about that kind of thing. I mean, I think I used to be friends with him until I decided he was a bad friend. I think that a lot of, like, I don't know, like, parasocial internet cancellation bullshit is really just like, this person's a bad friend. And it's like, I guess that's a little weird that everyone knows that, but it's also not, it's not, like, inaccurate. It's like, Max did Steven Juniverse. It's like, so what? So he's a bad friend. It's like, oh yeah. But I didn't need you to tell me that. I already knew that. I don't think people are really sure why they cancel. It's just addictive. I mean, he should accept criticism for that shit, but like, there's no point when you already know it sucks and is evil. I leave for an hour and there's an argument in the chat. It's, you know, I don't give a shit. People can say what they want. You're not, nobody's dogging on anybody, is there? Because that's not allowed here. No dogging. Yeah, I think we can talk about any topic as long as we're respectful about it. Canceling someone became addicting. Yeah. Was Max actually toxic at all? Of course. He was a terrible friend to me. But, you know, maybe that's none of anybody's business. And people think it is because, well, I don't know. You're like blacklisting people from being friends. Because, like, before, the animation industry loved to use the power of the blacklist to fuck on people that they didn't like, keeping anyone that does shit like that out. I guess, you know, for a while that was probably a priority, but like there's like convicted child offenders who get rehired at like Nickelodeon. So what does it even fucking mean? The blacklist is really just so you could defend your own people. So I don't know. They tried to make the internet version of the blacklist with cancel culture, and it doesn't actually keep you from having a career. It just keeps you from having, like, I don't know, stable life, I guess. It keeps you from having mental health. I don't think people like that should go uncriticized. I just think that's not good for them or us to sideline them that much. Should we be, you know, apologizing, or, you know, should we be looking for forgiveness and inviting them back into our house and giving them a cookie? No. Just leave them alone, like Brittany. Leave Max alone. He's not a very friendly person. I feel like when I was friends with him, he would talk about how all of his friends hate him. So, I don't know. What is he to you? He's just an internet creator, then you can just watch his stream, maybe throw him a bone. But, you know, beyond that, he's not your fucking best friend. I think people are trying to create like a blacklist for friendship. Because they don't actually care if someone did something illegal. They don't. They just care if it affects their reputation negatively. I'm woke now. But we know better. I think people focus on like the 3% of all animators that are out there, I don't even think about the fact that there's like so many people out there. People who haven't been caught yet. Nah. People who do nothing wrong. Nah. Somewhere in the middle. Well, because like I remember hearing Bob Camp got fired from that Ren and Stimpy reboot because he was white. Well, no, because he was a man, and they were like, frankly, you just don't understand the zeitgeist because you're old and a man. And it's like, that's not fair. That's also wrong. It's, you know, I don't know if he like has a case for like a lawsuit, but probably just doesn't want to get involved any further. You're not gonna want to relive all that shit. And the people, the women who told him that are also traumatized by John. They're like forming a John support group in this like Ren and Stimpy reboot. And you know, they seem to be talented artists, but there's no real use in bringing that shit back. So like people used to just get blacklisted and lose their job, but now it's like you're blacklisted from friendship. I don't think that's good for us as a society to do that. Even if you don't really care about that one person, it's not really good for everybody. Cool. All right, let's move on to these dolphins. I made the dolphins coming up. You know, Max is just a angry man. He's I mean, he's made some really funny cartoons. All right, maybe not funny. He's made some good cartoons. I think his sense of humor is really dull. Like, he's convinced himself that being a certain way is funny. It is a little bit like John when he thinks he's funny. It's like that's not funny. It's like the cartoon joke equivalent of like somebody coming up behind you and screeching, or like yelling fire. Is like every joke he does is like, wouldn't it be funny if, and the answer is always no before I even hear it. What if Super Mario was Jewish? Anyway, thanks for coming to my Drama Slop channel where I talk about personal lives of animators from like 15 years ago. Literally the most boring thing I can think of is just talking about like what animators do when they're not making cartoons. Well, I guess it's an interesting topic to talk about, like people who are kind of like twisted by the algorithm, because that is very pertinent to me right now. That has never been more relevant. It's like, Joe, you're not you when you're hungry. Nobody is them when they're hungry. If people treated me like I was just like an arm of the Google corporation, they may have been onto something, actually. It's just that now I want people to see me as human, because there's so much AI shit and AI shit art that, like, I need you to realize, if not now, then I don't know when, that I'm human, and that I'm not a pawn. I'm not married to YouTube. The algorithm is not my friend. I'm fine with him not doing art anymore, but the massive change he's had in personality since he started streaming feels insincere. I haven't really checked out his streams. I know I've seen them at least a couple times, but I don't know if I'm even following him anymore. I don't get notifications for that. Well, why did he become an artist in the first place? If he doesn't want to make art anymore, I think it's because it's just not paying the bills. It's like his hand has been forced. Make sure to tip your human content creator. Because one day we might not exist anymore. One of my favorite Earthbound songs. Yep, I like this one. He's putting on a performance to appease people, not being himself. Well, what is himself? I think he's always been afraid to show who he really is. You know. I also find it hard to be sincere, but I'm glad that people appreciate it when I am. Gonna have to end the stream pretty soon. But yeah, it's rough being an animator. It's rough like getting lots of views and not lots of money. It's, you know, it's almost like suffering from success, but the success is all Google's. You know, I'm not even a human to them. They don't even acknowledge me. So it's like, they don't care if I make them $1,000 a month or $100 a month. They don't care. It doesn't matter. It's all just numbers. They're more interested in getting more YouTubers to join, more people that can run through the mill. I noticed that with companies, they noticed that with a lot of different companies, they like the big ones. They really like big ones, don't care about the average employee. Smaller businesses on average do. Right, because there's a little bit more of a personal thing to it. It's like, you know, if you're just like one of the millions of schmoes they employ, it's like you're giving so much to this company that doesn't even care about you. That's, you know, any big tech company. Don't give a shit. Twitter just like fired everybody who worked on the site. Zero regard for what's good for the site. just gonna take a short break. What are people saying? Just talk about internet animators. Like, you know, animators used to be just like these like anonymous Korean people, and now they're just like people who like are your friends but not really. All right, what do we talk about for the last like 5 minutes of the stream? Do you think there's anything to be said about someone who doesn't care about being a cog in a wheel? For example, someone who cares just as little about the company as the collab cares about them. Wait, what? Well, you know, I think we're all connected. So, like, you know, there's got like a social security number, everybody is in the system, everybody is a consumer and a producer. Everybody has a GDP. So I don't know if it's really possible to not be a cog at all. My Spampton plushie is coming to my house this December. Alright, just don't let him take your soul. I'm getting tired. Thinking about assessing him from what he's put onto the internet. Something about his streams just feels sleazy. Well, yeah, I mean, everybody's just trying to grind out some extra revenue, and when I stream, I inevitably get tips. You know, we're no different from cam girls taking their clothes off. That's not done yet, but it's looking a lot better. Look at this tiger. He's coming along. Only 4 more years till Popeye's 100 years old. So I guess Popeye's in the public domain. Okay. Spent like 3 hours working and it feels like I barely got anything done. But at least I had fun. Good progress, thank you. Final thoughts before I get out of here. I haven't even been looking at the Twitch chat. This looks amazing. Insane amount of work. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Yeah, I gotta put more anticipation into that jump out of the water. And I should probably watch some videos of water just so I know how it looks. Maybe make a new layer just for the water. Because when he jumps out, that's really not there yet. When he falls in, it looks okay though. It's almost there. Blorp. Plenty of frames still to go, but gotta be another time. I gotta animate those fish. Gotta animate these guys. I don't know if that jellyfish is gonna do anything. He might just float. Oh. Very Frutiger era. Well, I was going for Utopian Scholastic, but you know, same thing, different decade. It was like in the 90s, it was like, look how technology can make us smarter. And then the 2000s, it's like, look how technology can make us I don't know what the whole point of Frutiger is. I don't know if they were thinking that hard about it. But like every art movement, there was a time and place. And now we're looking at it from a vantage point. Hope you have a nice, relaxing evening. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot, guys. This is the end of the stream, but thanks for coming. Let me come back tomorrow or something. I'll be back soon. Probably be working on a different scene. Good night. Thank you. Thank you. Have a good night. Nice tunes. Thank you. I didn't get to the I didn't hear the whole playlist, but that's good to know that this playlist is longer than 3 hours. Peace out. Thank you. You too.